Hey there, everybody. Just going to get started here. We're going to burn some sage and some incense. And so you guys can kind of see that part. Hopefully everyone had a good 4th of July. Lots of family for all of us, it feels like sometimes. And if you didn't have family, hopefully it was fun with the fireworks. Because I know fireworks can be fun too. Let's see here. Sorry guys, I'm just getting stuff set up. Give me a second. Okay, I think I got it figured out. Had my mouse buttons the wrong way. Okay. So I'm going to start by burning some incense or some sage. Now I've got some incense we're going to burn. And then after that, we'll start with our readings. It's going to help get the energy here to be nice and clean before we start. And also after I'm done. So that way it's kind of a good way for me to ground myself, for me to kind of move into that space. Okay, we're just going to have the incense lit first, so that way I can just do this and then go straight into the reading. It's going to be a smelly room, let's put it that way. Alright, so now we've got this sage. It's a pretty big stick of sage. We're going to be lighting this up. Get it burning nice and good. Sometimes it takes a second to get this nice and flowing here. We're just getting our sage lit. We're going to do some energy clearing. It's important to do this too, you guys, whenever you're feeling a little low, if you can. Just help get rid of the negative energy, the residue, right? Just want to get a nice fit. Okay. So let's do this. Let's say, I only wish for all those who enter to leave with good, truthful, and powerful experiences. I wish to get rid of the energy that is no longer serving this space. I'm only allowing new energy to be in this space, to embrace this space. Please protect this space and make it a sacred space for those and their questions, for those seeking truth, for those seeking that kind of energetic response. Okay. Hey, Liz. Just getting started here, burning some incense. How was everything? It's been a minute since I've been on. Okay. I only am allowing positive energy in this space. It is a home for sacred truths, for answers, and for divine guidance. Anything that wishes harm or wishes to have us in a state of untruth will be forced to leave. Sacred energy coming in, helping us be insightful, helping us have answers. So I'm cleansing the area and I'm setting intention for the space. That's something you can do. So it's kind of like when we cleanse the area, then we program it. If you want to imagine it like it's a computer, we cleanse, we program, and it kind of helps us get it going again. Sacred space, energy, helping us get refined, just to feel that. Open a window after you're done with this. Make sure the bad energy can find a place to get out. But that's it. So we do that. We set an intention. That's what we're doing. Everything has been great. I hope you are doing well. Liz, I am doing well. Just getting everything started here. All right. There we go. Okay. Oh, I have some parts of the incense that dropped out here. Put that in the shell that's in here. Okay, so let's get started, guys, and see what we can do here. Okay, so let's do this here. We're going to do July 8th and July 9th. And yeah, let's see what we get here. So July 8th and July 9th, I'm going to start shuffling the cards. Hey, Toto, how you doing, buddy? Toto is in the house. And Liz is too. That's the first time Liz has been on Toto, and you've been on, I think, for a little while. Toto always asks about you, Liz, when he comes on. Alright, let's do this here. Let's move on to the Energy Oracle cards. Let's see what we get here. I'm just shuffling. I'm not drawing anything. I don't know why I said let's see what we can get here, but let's see what we can get here. Hey Amber, how you doing? Let me just do this really quick. How's your weekend and your 4th of July, Amber? Sorry guys, give me 1 second here. I'm just writing something down so that I don't forget here. Let's see, and then we'll do... Okay, there we go. Alright everybody, so let's get started here. Hopefully everyone, like I said, had a good weekend. Okay, alright. So Amber has paid for 1 question, so after we do the generals, we will go straight to Amber. And she did get the discounted rate of $7 when you sign up on Patreon. So thank you, Amber, for that. So let me put you down here. Okay, let's do this. Okay, guys, so we can do pile 1 and 2. We can go from there. I'm just going to do 3 cards. We'll do the 8th and the 9th on our readings for this, on our generals for this day. I don't know how to word that. For some reason, the words escaped my brain hole, but they will not come back, so. Oh. What are you confused on, Liz? Maybe we can share in the confusion together, because I'm feeling confused myself right now, so. Amber and Liz are always good. You guys lift up the convo, and I appreciate that. I feel like we come here and we empower each other, and I think that's a very important thing for us to do. Okay, so let's do pile 1. And then let's do 3 cards for pile 1 and 3 cards for pile 2. Oh yeah. Okay, Patreon. All right. So any of the packages on Patreon, any of the packages on Patreon, I think they start at $4.99 and they go all the way up to $20. Depending on which package you get. If you get the $20 one, you pay $20 a month, but then it's it would be $5 a question and $15 for 3 questions. So it's kind of like it sort of goes back to my old pricing, but that's if you're doing $20 a month. If you're doing $5 a month, then you get 30% off. So 1 question becomes $7 and 3 questions becomes about 18. So I lowered it a little bit more for that, but that's sort of something that you get for the Patreon, right? So that's how I do that. So even if it's the $5 tier, you're still getting actually quite a bit, and then you save even more on the 3 questions because you save an extra $3 on top of it just being $7 because it's not $21 for 3 questions, it's 18. So, oh, but it's okay. It's okay, Liz, but that's kind of the gist of it. And then I'm going to be doing videos on there. I'm going to be doing different. I've got a lot of ideas for the channel, and so that's kind of what that's for too, is that you guys get access into that part as well. Okay. So let's do this here. Let's do pile 1. So we get 8 of Swords in reverse, Justice upright, which is also an 8 in this deck, and Storm Warning in reverse. Okay, so I'll show you the cards. So we have, like I said, 8 of Swords. The V1, 2, 3 is the 8. So right here, when we have the 8 of Swords in reverse, Storm Warning and Justice card, this to me feels like we're trying to get ourselves out of a way of thinking. So maybe we've habitually had these thoughts. Maybe we're trying to change parts about ourselves. Maybe we're trying to understand ourselves better. The Storm Warning in reverse and the Justice card, all of it feels mental. All of it feels like we're dealing with mental energy, and we're learning how to clear that kind of energy, or we're learning what it looks like to have that energy, and then what it looks like to not have that energy. So we're kind of in a place where we're sort of drifting between the two. We're trying to find out which side's going to win out here, and we're hoping for the best. But mentally speaking, this to me feels like a transformation. It feels like we're pulling ourselves out of something that we felt like was really big. Like it was a really big thing to pull ourselves out of, and I'm feeling like we're getting better because of that. I feel like we're getting stronger because of that. There's still things here to do. There's still things to accomplish. But this to me is coming into a balance, right? Because Libra represents balance. Justice is Libra, and that represents balance right here. So it could be getting over a Libra, or it could be working through something to do with the Libra. But it's like there's a sense of clarity and there's a sense of calm now. There's a sense of kind of that energy going in here now. It's not saying that things are over, but I feel like we're getting a better grip on things more personally, I guess. I feel like we're understanding things a little more, like we're putting our own special spin on something. We're making it our own, but I feel like we're starting to understand ourselves better. So that's what it feels like. So understanding our identity better, understanding our sense of like our personality would be a good one for that. Identity, I feel like, is a strong one, though. It's sort of like we put ourselves in a position of saying, I'm this way, I'm this way, I'm this way, right? And it turns out that it's not that way at all. It turns out we're actually a complete other way. We're learning, and we're letting ourselves experience different parts of life, and we're letting ourselves change and evolve and adapt. And that can feel scary, but it can also be the most liberating thing we can do, because we're choosing to remain in a state of motion, in a state of living, in a state of evolution, instead of being stagnant and ruminating. We're focusing on getting better and on what life has to offer us. So that's what I'm getting here. So hopefully that resonates with you guys. And again, that would be for Thursday. So this next one's for Thursday as well, but let's see what we get here. I remember, Liz, I remember. Hopefully the reading helps and resonates with that. Okay, so let's do this pile here, also for Thursday. So we have, this is good. Well, this is interesting, actually. We have the Emperor in reverse, adjacent possibilities in reverse, and the High Priestess. So this could be that we're getting out of a situation where we felt controlled, or we felt isolated, or we felt like we didn't have options. Okay? I'm trying to get that camera to focus on me here. But while we're in that state of feeling like we don't have options, because there's the Emperor, an adjacent... it's not adjacent possibilities. Adjacent possibilities, those options were limited or not even there. So the High Priestess here is saying that we're trusting our intuition. We're definitely trusting our intuition here. And something that I feel like is really important to also address is that the Emperor can be an Aries individual. So there could be an Aries individual in our life that was very difficult for us to deal with. We realized this person was controlling, we're using our intuition, and we're breaking out of that kind of smog or that haziness that this person could have left us in. When I see the High Priestess coming up with these, it's like your intuition kicked in and you started seeing things how they actually were. This can be a painful thing to do because it's kind of like taking the blinders off, but this is something that you're starting to see things for what they are. Sometimes we like to put on those rose-colored glasses and we don't want to see the situation for what it is because maybe it would hurt too much for us to come to that realization, or there's a lot of different reasons, but both of them, or all of them, I feel like come to the same thing. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt when I look, or it's gonna hurt if I find out that how I've been living. Oh, okay, GG. Hopefully you had a good weekend of 4th of July. So that's kind of the situation that I'm seeing here. When we're focused on having the Emperor in reverse energy can also be kind of our divine masculine taking a back seat. So if we take it as being something that's not like literal, like this is an Aries individual, which it can be, of course, but we can also have it where we're trying to look at what it looks like. We're trying to understand what it looks like to initiate things more, or to start something with action, or to do something instead of just thinking about it. So this could be us trying to focus on change where we're taking action and we're not saying, I want to be this, this, and this. Instead, we're saying, I'm just going to do it. Right? Like, I'm just going to go out there. I'm just going to try something. So this, to me, is that we're embracing that part of us. But that can feel weird. Awesome. There you go. Something creative. Sewing is good. I'll have to learn it one of these days. It looks relaxing. But that's what I'm seeing here, is that when we're focused on allowing things to come to us, allowing things to sort of happen for us, it gets a lot easier for us. It gets a lot, like, we really don't have to try and do things as much as we think, but what we do is we build them up in our heads over a period of time that it seems like it's taking us a lot longer to do something than it normally would, whereas if we just do it, if we're just spontaneous, we just kind of do it, we kind of hop in there. The worst thing that can happen is that we fail and we find out we're no good at it. But each time we do that, we're getting closer to finding what we do like and what we are good at. Because yes, it can be hard, but it's like we're having different experiences and we're being like, that one's not for me, and we can have something else happen. So it's all about encompassing that sense of change, right? That's the important thing. And me being a Taurus snake, I love things to stay the same. So this is a lesson for me too. I love things to stay the same. I have my little, I'll call it a routine because it's a routine, but it's also a rut. So that's something. But it's just one of those things, right? Where we're all working on something. We're all working on change. For an earth sign to adopt change is remarkably difficult. And I'm saying that because, we can be stubborn. Tauruses can be stubborn. And that includes to change. Oh man, that's good. Okay, so let's do this. Let's move this one right over here, right under here. Let's do this one here. It's all about just taking the time to, taking the time to take the time, taking the time to experience new things, rest when we've been working, work when we've been resting. It's kind of like a balancing act. And I feel like that's something that's very difficult for most of us to do. And I'm not saying that we should be able to do it perfectly, but I'm saying it would be a little easier if it became a little easier, I guess. But that's part of it. That's part of living. We're unlearning at this stage of our lives. That's the name of the game. We can learn new things while we're unlearning old things, but we're sort of getting rid of what no longer sparks joy, kind of a situation. And that's ways of behaving, that's looking at ourselves, that's again, self-discovery. Okay, so we got those ones shuffled. Let's shuffle these ones. Ugh. All right, one more shuffle here. Okay, guys, hold on. A simple hello Hassam would have been good, but thank you for hold on. Okay. All right, you guys, let's see what we can get here. One more shuffle on these ones here. Okay, so pile 1, pile 2. Do you guys have a preference? We doing pile 1 or pile 2 first? Gigi says 2. Okay. We're going to do the first one anyway there. I was spacing out there for just a second. But I was also thinking I felt a little bit of Spirit's energy. But yeah. We'll see what comes up here for 2. Sorry about the yawning, guys. Okay. So here we have 2. We have got the Knight of Cups in reverse. That's what it looks like upright. No, that's a person in the other room talking. They're very loud. They're very loud talkers. So I'll ask for you guys to bear with me for a little bit here. I can't close the door because the animals need to come in and eat. Because this is also their food room. It's a kitty room / studio. A catudio room. Cat studio. Anyway. It's that kind of a situation. So Knight of Cups, okay, in reverse. I was just showing it upright, but it is in reverse. And then we have the Nine of Wands, also in reverse. Alright, and then we have Woman holding a heart. You're good, Gigi. You're good. You can probably hear things a lot. I have a pretty okay microphone. I wish it was more. Hold on one second. There we go. Sometimes the camera just goes out of focus. Okay, so that's... Here's what... So Knight of Cups in reverse, Nine of Wands in reverse, Woman holding a heart. So we could be working on getting over a situation. It could be involving a fire sign. Again, this one's kind of going up. This is for Friday. It could be working on getting over a fire sign, or it could be working on trying to understand our own emotions or keep them in check. Alexis, how you doing? Hopefully you've had a good 4th. So when we're looking at this, we're looking at someone who... It could be extremism in relationships too. The Knight of Cups is kind of an extreme card when it's in reverse. It could be... We could be dealing with an obsessive, either water or fire sign individual is what I would say. So we could be dealing with someone who's obsessive, or someone who's possessive, or someone who's oppressive. There's a lot of S's that we can go into. Someone who's excessive. Anyway, we could be dealing with a situation like that. And so when I see Woman holding a heart next to the Nine of Wands in reverse, and the Knight of Cups in reverse, it's making me feel like we're saying to ourselves, I'll make the best of a bad situation. I'm doing good, Alexis, and, well, everyone else can chime in to say how they're doing. But I am doing good. How are you doing? So when I see this, it is a person, more than likely a woman, or someone that's more open emotionally. I would feel like that is saying that they don't, or saying that they will put up with a certain behavior. So it could be we're looking at finding it difficult to change things in our life, and maybe people are treating us a certain way, and instead of fighting and saying what we're worth, I feel like we're trying to get comfortable with saying it's okay, you know, it's all right. And so I feel like there's a tendency to let other people walk over us at times. When I see this in reverse, it's feeling like I'll settle for what I can get would be the energy that I feel with this. This isn't going to be something that's like, going to make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. It's feeling like we're settling for something that our soul isn't congruent with. It feels like we're settling for something that we don't want to be settling for, but we are. So that's what I'm seeing here. Give me 1 second here, guys. All right, Alexis, take your time. Okay, so I'm feeling here like a lot of us would say, well, this person or this situation fits me like a glove at times. And I'm feeling like that can be true, but sometimes something can fit us like a glove because gloves can fit. But gloves can also be loose-fitting. Gloves can have a sense of not necessarily being maybe the right material, maybe what we're wearing is irritating our skin. So there could be a good fit, but I'm feeling like we've grown out of it. We've grown out of that sense of comfort. And we're trying to find that meaning in other things. And I'm feeling like we need to keep looking, we need to keep going. And learning about emotional well-being is going to be good. Learning how we can express ourselves in a healthy way is going to be really good during this time. But that's what I'm feeling is the most important. It's kind of like seeing yourself through the eyes of someone who loves you, someone who cares about you. That's what I want you guys to focus on. Or, it can be anything, but seeing yourself as someone that you're responsible for taking care of is also, I feel like, a good way to gauge what we should and shouldn't allow in our lives. If something happened to us and we would stand up for a 5-year-old us, we would stand up for a 5-year-old that was our child, um, then that means we probably should stand up more for other things too. So, but again, it's kind of like getting that courage. It's kind of focusing on that courage, and getting that sense of, I've got this sort of energy, if that makes any sense for you guys. Okay, let's move on to, ooh, that would have been bad. Let's move on to the next pile here. So we're just going to do pile 1 because we already did pile 2 per Gigi's request. So let's do this here. So pile 1, we have Healer of the Ages. Knight of Wands. And the Star card in reverse. Healer of Ages, Knight of Wands, and Star card in reverse. So we could be doing something here where we're waiting for something to happen in our lives that sort of fixes itself, okay? There can be that sort of mentality where we're looking at having everything fixed for us, where we're not wanting to do the work because we don't necessarily know how to do the work to make ourselves feel better on a deeper core level, right? There can be possessions, there can be other things that come in, there can be distractions, there can be escapism. But when those things aren't on the table, and it's just kind of like us with our thoughts or us with ourselves, how do we make that better? How do we focus on making that kind of world a better place for us to be in? And so that's what I feel like is going on here for Friday. I feel like we're focusing on trying to have new mental habits. We could be having a situation where there's an Aquarius or a possible fire sign that could be coming in our life. And we're viewing this person as maybe a way for us to work through our own problems instead of doing the work ourselves. So we could be looking to go into relationships as a form of, kind of like a form of escaping, because it's no longer our problems. We're focusing on the relationship now. And when we focus on the relationship, we don't have to worry so much about ourselves. We can put all of our energy into the relationship, and that comes with its own caveats too. There's that escaping kind of element from it. And escaping is good at times, it can help us, but at other times, escaping becomes avoiding. And as soon as that starts to happen, that's when it's like it's time to go back to the drawing board, because we're saying something that we're trying to put our effort into something that is not us primarily. The way I view a relationship is that we want to be as complete as we can be ourselves, and then when we add another person in our life, we're adding that person because we want them there, not because we desperately need them, but because we want them there and we want to share in the journey of life and the experiences of life, not because we're using them to escape our own emotions. Because some of us will be in situations where we attach ourselves to partners that are unavailable one way or another, and we use that to focus on how to make it better, on what to do, and then the cycle kind of keeps repeating itself, because we keep attracting people that we want to fix because we feel like it will fix us, when in reality it's us that need to be fixed. I feel like first we need to be on that journey of completion and self-love first in order for us to get anywhere in the long run. So hopefully that makes sense with that. I know what it's like to think this other person will complete me, right? I'm not sure how to change the profile picture, Alexis. I'm not sure. I'd say I'm going to say go up to the profile picture and right click, maybe. Or maybe change your Google account profile image. That might work. Your G, what is it called? G Plus on Google? I can't remember what it's called. But if you change that profile picture, maybe it changes it on all the services like YouTube and things like that. I'm not sure, but that might be a good start, maybe. Okay. So, yeah, and I've been there too, guys. I'm not saying it like I'm calling anyone out or I'm doing anything like that. I've been there myself. I know what it feels like to think that another person can sort of fix that. You know, that's something that when we realize that we're not the problem, but we're going to fix our behaviors that make us kind of react in traumatized ways and in like wounded ways. Once we fix those parts of us that have been wounded and we understand what's going on there, then we can make better decisions with everything. I mean, that goes with jobs, that goes with absolutely everything in life, because we're not coming at the world with a wounded, kind of skewed perspective. We're coming at it with a more holistic sense of self, right? And courage is to be courageous is to be wholehearted. And I feel like a lot of us have hidden parts of our hearts, parts of ourselves from ourselves, and we need to go on that journey of discovery and self-investigation. And so that's kind of what I'm helping you guys to prepare for, and hopefully it does help people in that way. I went through a very, very long period in my life where emotionally, and then magic happens. Absolutely, Liz. But when I was going through this time in my life, a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago, uh, there wasn't a feeling of I had any idea what was going on. Nothing. And I was scared. I was so scared, and I'm still dealing with anxiety. I'm still dealing with different things, but there was a sense of really not having any idea who I was as a person, having all these different things going on in my life, because I kind of just had a moment of waking up and being present and in my life, like really in my life, for the first time in a long time. And I sort of had to go through and undo all these little autopilot systems I had created for myself, like hiding in a shell. And it takes time. You feel like an alien at first, trying to learn this world, the emotional parts. Again, this is my journey. I'm not talking about you guys, but it definitely felt like an alien. Um, yeah, it's one of those things. Okay, so Amber, are you there? What is your question, my friend? Okay, Amber. I'm right here. I'm just waiting for the question here, and then we'll go on. Okay. Oh, there we go. Change the profile picture to a green question mark. The Riddler. Is that what I'm seeing there? Okay. I want to know about Christina. She's a boss slash colleague in the dance world. I feel like she has something against me, and I don't know why. We have several connections that I want to keep working with. Okay, let's look at that. So let's use the Energy Tarot, Amber. see what we can get here. Okay. Good, nice shuffle going on there. You felt this way for years. You feel like she's blocked you from getting work. This was the one that was with Brad and... Was it Chris? Was it Chris, Christina, and Brad? Or was it Brad and... I can't remember who the other person was. I feel like you've definitely talked about Christina before. Okay. Want to know what Chris... I feel like she has something against me. I don't know why. Okay, so what does Christina have against you, Amber? What does Christina have against Amber? Okay, what is Christina's primary issue with Amber? Let's do it that way. All right. What is Christina's primary issue with Amber? Okay, I was right. All right. Okay. Try to remember those names. What is Christina's primary issue with Amber? That makes sense. It's the hostilities card. That's not really a surprise, though. That's literally what we're talking about. So I'll ask this. So why... Come on, focus here. Focus. That works. Okay. Let's see. So why are there hostilities between Amber and Christina? Why are there hostilities between Amber and Christina? Okay, so I'm going to say this right here. We have rest and rejuvenation in reverse, man holding a heart in reverse, and then I get 4th chakra Archangel Michael upright. So part of it here is envy or jealousy. I do feel like there's a tendency for this person to... No, especially with what you've said she's done. That was something I wanted to talk to you about, Amber. In fact, everybody on the channel. If we're dealing with narcissistic people, if we're dealing with these kinds of people, what will happen is that we'll be in a very vague space with them. We won't know if they're a threat or they're a friend sometimes. We'll know that they do this or that, but we won't know why. And it's very ambiguous, and it creates a state of confusion. So if we're constantly in that state of confusion around these people, and we just can't pinpoint what they're doing that hurts us, do you understand what I'm saying here? They try to keep us in a very confused state of mind. When we're in that state, we're easier to kind of control or manipulate. So they put us on an even footing. So they can give us good gestures, or a present or a gift sometimes, and then it's like they own you after that. It's like there's this sense of like, okay, now I own you now. Now it's kind of like you do my bidding. There can be things like that they use to kind of lord over us. Oh, I gave you that present, or oh, I did this for you. And because of that, there can be some gray areas. Sometimes, though, it's just them being mean, and there is no nice. In which case, I'll say right here, there is you being talented. That I feel like is a huge issue. When I see rest and rejuvenation in reverse, and then I see man holding a heart in reverse with this card here, I feel like there was a tendency for people to like you a lot more. You were more sincere and more honest. And then I feel like this person tends to get jealous, very jealous, when there's people that um, kind of have that spark or that charisma or that special kind of thing to offer. I feel like this person gets jealous. The man holding a heart in reverse, though, is making me wonder: is this a was there ever a guy involved between you two? I know you said something with Chris, but I can't remember. I want some headway here. Was there a guy involved? Was there anything going on that way, um, where you guys were both after the same guy, or you were both after the same position? Did something happen? We're in a different dance company. She follows everyone in the company, even people that only performed once except me. Mm, absolutely. Okay. So making you feel excluded. And probably something that Christina can also do, because other narcissistic people do this, is when they're in front of a group of people, they're going to treat you great. Like if it's a group of people, if there's an event, if something's going on, they're going to treat you much better. But when it's just you and them, there can be a lot of hostility, and there can be something. And then if you ever tried to say anything against Christina, no one would believe you, because they're like, well, she seems so nice, or she's this way, or she's that way. What do you mean? She's not that way. And so that further makes us feel like we're crazy, because other people are saying, no, she's really nice. What are you talking about? And there can be that kind of situation too. If this person sets their eyes on you and they want to make you an enemy, I'm feeling like they'll do it. They, you know, they don't necessarily need a reason. It's just sort of like they hone in and have that. Hold on. There's a lot of Chris's and Christinas in this story, Amber. I'm just gonna say that right there. There's two Christinas. Both are in one of the companies. The other one married Chris. This one is best friends with Bradley. So just so I can understand it, at some point in this group, there's a Christina, Bradley. I mean, that's just a lot of anyway. Sorry. Um, at least they're spelled differently. I figured both are mean. Um, because if they're with Bradley, if one of them was with Bradley and the other one was best friends with Chris, and those people were also not nice people, I figured they keep pretty mean company. These aren't the kind of people that are sweet, and they're not going to have friends that are necessarily that way, or they'll contort them or twist them into being mean. So that's what I'm seeing here. Um, Other than the fact that just jealousy, you being talented, Bradley introduced me to her and claims I owe him for getting me work. Well, and again, Bradley is one of my more least favorite people, just because, of course, the person's going to make you feel indebted to them, right? If they make you feel indebted to them, then you're going to keep them around. It's going to be even harder to cut them out because they're trying to keep you around. They're guilt tripping you. They're trying to shame you into thinking that you need them. Like implicitly, like you would be lost without them. Oh no. And yet when they're gone, you're like, man, it feels good that they're not here, because they're that kind of toxic. So he's trying to create a reliance system where you come to associate his presence with possibly getting work, and from that connection, it would be harder to move away from, Bradley because you wouldn't feel as safe or secure in your employment. So to me, it's like he's waving something in over your head to say like, now do tricks for me, do tricks for me now. So that's what I'm seeing there. Working with some very, I say it on the channel all the time, but that's very narcissistic, very manipulative kind of people. Very, yeah. The other dance company is run by someone else who really likes me, but Christina works under her. They've gotten closer and I've been getting less gigs. Okay, so one second here. Okay. All right, so Amber, are you wanting to do another question? We can do another question for the 7 if you want, and we can look more into this if that's something you want to do. Just because I want to focus, I feel like we addressed the first one, so if we could move on to the second one, and then we can do a little bit more, if that would be okay. I understand though that we kind of want to look into what's going on, why we're getting less gigs for sure, and what we can do here. Hold on 1 second, guys. And remember, the Patreon, you guys on Patreon, it's $7.18. 1 question for 7, 3 questions for 18. So remember that. And that's if you sign up to Patreon. Any of the subscriptions, the $20 a month one, though, gives you 50% off on questions and working with me in general, if that's something you want to do outside of the videos. So it's up to you guys kind of what you feel like doing, but yeah. Thank you, Amber. And if your phone does die, if something happens, you don't have your phone anymore, then you can just kind of come back to this, and I'll address the question, right? You can come back after it's live, because the video will post, and then you can come back to this spot. Okay. Okay, thank you, Amber. All right, so do you want to work with the question you already posted, or do you want to post another question? Because we can totally do it either way. Okay, I'll just address the question here. So we're kind of wondering what's going on with the situation between the dance company. So let's do that. Okay. Ty, it's okay, my friend. I understand. Life happens, and you're good. More... Amber, you're fine. Don't apologize. You're good. You are so good. Don't worry about that. Let's look at this. More details of this one. I want to know if she deliberately blocked me from doing a really big gig last year on national TV. Okay, let's see. Hopefully everything's okay, Ty. Let's see. So let's see what we can find out for Amber. Did she block her from doing a really big gig last year? So I'm getting kind of similar cards. I have the World and Rest and Rejuvenation. These two cards right here. And then I have Hostilities and Man Holding a Coin in reverse. So Amber, like I've said with some of the other questions you've asked, this one to me feels like, I don't feel like she helped the case. I don't feel like she helped move it, or she helped or said anything to like make it so you could get the job, but I'm not feeling like she was on your side either. So I'm feeling a sense of this person being very greedy and this person sort of guiding the situation on how they would want to do it. But I still feel like at the end of the day, I don't feel like she necessarily blocked it, but I don't feel like she didn't stop it, right? That's kind of what I'm getting here. But also, it does feel like when I see Rest and Rejuvenation again, but this time it's upright, and then the Hostilities is in reverse this time, it feels like a situation where even if you got to perform, it feels like something would have happened where nice to see you too, Lady Libra. But it feels like something where it just wasn't meant for us at that point in time. Okay, yep. All right, Amber, so that's what I'm feeling here. I'll talk a little bit more about this. I'm sorry your phone's about to die, but like you can watch it back. You can watch it back at this point. I think we're about, I started at about 8, so we're about an hour in. So go to about an hour in the video from when it starts, and you'll get to where your question is, okay? I'll try and do that for people in the future too, give them some little timestamps. But about an hour in, Amber, and I'll continue to talk here. The man holding a coin in reverse, it does feel like there was a couple, it feels like there could be a man, obviously that's kind of one here, but there could be someone that's withholding something from us, or someone who's making it harder for us to get a job. So there could be that could be an agent or an agency, right, that you could be working with. It feels like there could be blocking of certain things, blocking of certain certain opportunities, or blocking of like trying to focus on other people. So it feels like there could be something with the agency side of things, which would be difficult to deal with, because it's like, what do you do with that kind of situation? Get a new agency or get a new kind of situation going, because it does feel like there was a tendency for things to be kind of wrapped up with the whole thing that happened. Because we've been talking about this for a little while. With everything that happened, it feels like there could have been people that were held up in image, or people that were held up in this or that. And I feel like people were trying to distance themselves from that situation. You didn't do anything wrong, Amber, in how you handled this. But like the reputation things going on here, I'm feeling like there could be something to do with that. Absolutely. Primarily, though, I do feel like when I see the man holding a coin in reverse, I'm wondering if there was something going on with that. because the man holding the coin in reverse would be the agent, or it would be the person, the agency holding the coin. So to me, it feels like we need to pay to play. It feels like something happened where this person was involved or kind of influenced in some way. I don't know if your agent knows or understood the situation that was going on exactly. We've talked a little bit about that. I can't remember exactly though. But that's what I'm feeling here is that I feel like you're in a better place now because we get the world and we get rest and rejuvenation on top. It's kind of like seeing things through a more fresh perspective. But over the last year, up until this point, man holding a coin in the hostilities in reverse, which to me can be passive aggressive behavior. Like there was also the physical part of it as well that you told me, or you were threatened. But when I see hostilities in reverse, that can be passive aggressive behavior. That could be someone who doesn't outright like do something, but it's just subtle looks, glances, the way they make you feel, the way they talk to you, the way they demean you. That could be going on. But I am seeing the world rest and rejuvenation on top, which to me is kind of coming at things with a more clear perspective. And we're seeing the world for how it is. We're starting our healing journey, like our inner work. And that's going to give us a lot more to look forward to and to look out on in the world. But that's primarily what I'm seeing for you, Amber. That's going to be the kind of big moment there is that right now things will get better. Things will start getting better because we're starting that healing journey. But in the past, it does feel like it wasn't just one person. It felt like there was a few things that were blocking you from getting work. Because I felt like there was hands in different pots, so to speak. And it felt like fingers in different pies. That's the term. So it felt like you weren't being blocked from just one spot. It felt like it was kind of different things. But I think you've worked with different agencies and things are hopefully getting better for you now. Because I'm feeling like we're getting rid of the situation, Yoshi. No, no. Buddy, no. I've got that blocked off. No, no. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. He's too chunky. He's too chunky. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Yoshi. Hey, bud. Hey, what's up, buddy? Come here. Come here. There. He's a good buddy. Okay. Are you still there, Amber, or did your phone skadoosh away? Actually, move a little closer here. Okay, well, what we can do now is Amber will catch the replay. So well, if she's not online, it's not going to do any good for me to say it out loud now, is it? Um, but that was your reading, Amber. Hopefully that made sense to you. And we can talk more on Friday, okay? Okay. So, does anyone else have questions? Thank you, Liz. I appreciate that. And also, you can check out my Patreon. You get discounts on the questions. As long as you're a Patreon member, you get 30% discounts. Okay. All right, Ty. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Everybody, stay tuned. I will be back. Okay, Ty, thank you very much. I'll look here and see if the money came in. And perfect. Thank you, my friend. Okay, so let's start on the questions here. All right, my friend. Okay, so you're wondering what is the future with you and your current girlfriend. So let's do that here. Let's do these cards. Okay, these are the love energy cards. Sorry, I lit a very funky smelling incense. So hold on. If I make weird faces, it's because I thought my cat peed in here. It's probably not my favorite incense smell right off the bat, but hopefully it gets better. Never just grab random incense and think it's gonna smell good. Never do that. I'm learning. I'm learning right here. It smells like burnt mints. Or like when someone burns hair. Okay, what is the future with Ty and his current girlfriend? Okay, Nag Champa for you. You don't like it or you do like it? Probably you don't like it. I don't mind Nag Champa though. It's not, to me it's not a bad one. Whatever this one is, I think it's called Wizard's Pee. Or, you know, just the word urine, and then that's it. So right here, Ty, for you and your current girlfriend, I get spiritual maturity and sexuality right here. So I'm feeling like she's teaching us a lot. That's something that I feel like I'm getting here. What do you feel with her? Because right here, I feel like she's teaching us a lot about ourselves, or she's teaching us a lot about kind of what's going on in our lives. Um, but has something changed for you, Ty? What are your thoughts? It's the way we do this. We go back and forth, okay? Yes, yes. Nag Champa is really good. We got a bunch of different ones back here. They range from sugar cookie, pumpkin spice. Um, okay. And let's see. The sugar cookie one smells amazing, but you don't want to just use the sugar cookie one, even though it's your favorite, because then you'll run out. So I kind of pace myself. Um, so you're learning a lot with her, Ty. That's good. The sexuality part's good too. Maybe we're discovering new parts of ourselves through intimacy, or maybe we're understanding more of that kind of connection. Um, good, good. That's really good. So there is a flow here. There's a good sense of flow. I feel like it's going well, but here's the thing. As long as our spiritual maturity and our lessons, as long as we keep learning the lessons she's trying to teach us, then we'll be okay. You want to continue to be with her and think she's your soulmate. Perfect. Perfect, my friend. There will be, with these kinds of connections, you're going to be learning a lot, and she's going to be learning a lot too. So as long as that's a road you keep wanting to go down, I'm seeing this as a a really good relationship. This to me feels solid. This feels like something that's strong, and I feel like there's a lot here. There, you guys can butt heads, sometimes, but as long as you guys come together and you talk and things, and you work through whatever it was you were arguing about, you come back together and you talk about it and you defuse the situation and you make it so resentment doesn't build up because when something happens, you work through it. And and that scared the hell out of me. Hmm. I mean, that's. Hmm. I can see why that would give you the creeps here. That's something, though. Hmm. That's definitely a see what kind of happens deal, right? I do feel like it's up to you. If you feel like you're her soulmate, right? And you separated with someone and there was something that happened when you weren't with this person that you're with now, she would kind of have to say, well, that's okay. And maybe you can handle that in whatever way you can handle that moving forward. But, you know, and she said no. Okay. And I'm sorry, Ty, that that happened. Sometimes you got to remember, sometimes readers, I do feel like they try their best. Okay, I do feel like readers try their best, but sometimes the information is not accurate. I want us all to remember that. I try to do my best to make sure I understand things the way that I can, but sometimes it's just not accurate, right? And especially that emotional roller coaster, like you said, that situation right there, right? Because that's kind of a, we don't want to have that anymore. We want to focus on this new relationship. But in turn, I think what happened was, Ty, when you had the release of not feeling like you were tied with this other partner, I feel like there was a sense of, you can, Ty, however you want to word the questions, but I'm feeling like her saying no should be kind of a, for now, right? If you had your second question be that question, I feel like I already know what I'm gonna, what what the cards are gonna say here. I don't feel like there's a pregnancy, but also I feel like you're this other person that you're with. Maybe this situation made us appreciate the person we're with a little more now. Like it kind of brought awareness to things, and I feel like that could have been Spirit's way of trying to really show you that hey, you have something good here. I feel like that could be going on as well, like a sense of relief and release when I say that, because there's a sense of not being bound to a situation that we weren't really into or anymore, especially. So that's kind of what I can see there. I put my water. I moved it, didn't I? I moved it to the highest of highs. Hold on. No walking for me, guys. I just use my chair and I scoot everywhere in the house. Okay, so Ty, a reader said, I think this is supposed to happen and can be future. Okay, fate takes us on a lot of different ways, but you get to decide that, Ty, not some reader, okay? Right here, my friend, we're doing the best we can with what we've got. I want you to know that no psychic has accreditation. We try and we learn and we try and do the best we can, but you got to think of psychics like freelance workers, okay? Some freelance workers are really good. Some of them try their best. Some of them go out there and try to seek to understand things, and others just decide to start a YouTube channel one day and they don't necessarily realize the impact that they're having on people. They don't necessarily understand that their words can deeply affect people, at least not yet. I do believe that there are good psychics out there. There are good mediums out there, but I think there can be ones that can put us in a bind too. I think there can be ones that can be maybe not knowing what they're saying or doing. Yeah, I have so much more appreciation for my girlfriend now. I was thinking about writing her a letter expressing that, but it's kind of cheesy, and I don't know if I would go through with it. If it's cheesy, my friend, all the more, right? I operate on if it's cheesy, it's pleasy. So I would say if you feel like you can, if you feel like you can muster it up, you know, that's a good thing to focus on. Focus on the appreciation. Focus on that sense of connection with this person. And no psychic should be telling you, I feel it's this way, or I think you're going to be. Like, if there's someone coming in our life, great, but they're making it so that you're edging towards a situation. They're making it so that already in your mind, you're married to that person. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. There is choice involved in every step of the way, and you can never make the wrong choice. We just learn different lessons. That's it. That's my take on it, at least. Perfect. Perfect. So like you said, don't have to worry about that. Okay? Because if she was abusive, toxic, and manipulative, she probably would have used it as a playing card against you, but instead she said no. So that, to me, I think you're in the clear, my friend. And you got to see and experience life in a way that was very personal, very deep, and it was kind of a what's going to happen sort of situation. But then when the dust cleared and the dust settled, you realized what it is you wanted and what you didn't want. So view that as kind of that scenario where we had a dose of reality, where we got to see what we do and we don't want. And we got to see them at such extremes, right? Thank you, Ty. I appreciate that, my friend. To me, it helps make sense of it, of life, of it. So does that answer the first question, my friend? Dropped my water bottle. You feel like you grew so much just from that? Absolutely. Absolutely, Ty. That's how life kind of operates. It sort of sneaks in these little lessons while we're waiting for the next big event to come up. So as long as we just see them as lessons and experiences we can learn from, then that's as much power as they have, right? We can kind of diffuse the anxiety and realize they're just lessons. They're just lessons, and we're just here to sort of learn those lessons. Okay, so what would your second question be, Ty? What are we thinking here? There you go. Perfect. Perfect. All of this is to help us. All of it's to help us on our way, right? And that is something, being more graceful and less judgmental. Good. There we go, Ty. There we go. You said you'd keep me updated, so that's awesome that you wrote your first draft of the personal statement. Good, my friend. Good, good. And once you do that, things start to happen for you. Things started to, I mean, besides this, it happened, but I'm feeling like there's a sense of blooming, or there's a sense of finally there being fruition and there being movement. So I'm feeling a sense of relief in a few different ways, but primarily there's a sense of progress again. And then that progress was taken away by a life-changing outcome that could have happened. And then now I feel like there's progress again. And so it feels like we're moving now more than ever towards a goal, and we're understanding why we're doing what we're doing to attain that goal, and what exactly is going on. So again, all of it sort of comes full circle. Ah, that's a good question. Are you on the right path with what you've written? Is Ty on the right path with what he has written? I'm seeing a camping analogy, like going camping, doing something in the outdoors, like a meditating outside, we're doing something outdoors. So I'm feeling a sense of peace and comfort. There's a gnawing sense of something, but I feel like we understand that we got this. There is anxiety still. I feel like we're kind of hung up on the idea of succeeding, but I do feel like there's something here where it feels kind of like I'm just waiting now. I'm waiting for the fish to bite, so to speak. I don't know why there's all these outdoor analogies, but that's what I'm getting. Is Ty on the right path with what he's written? So as we've discussed here, Ty, I get the Empress card. Okay. That can be a Taurus card as well, but it's like the Empress card is one card that's like full of grace. It's full of this kind of healing energy. It's a very powerful energy, but it's like an active, powerful energy. Okay, that makes sense. You're awaiting feedback, so that makes sense. The Empress, and then I get the Tower card. Okay, and then I get the Seven of Wands, which the person's doing this kind of hand motion. They're holding up their hand. They're going up the stairs. So maybe what I'm feeling here, this is a first draft, and so I feel like we're going to be more critical on ourselves. I'm feeling like something could happen here where we need to kind of change our direction a little bit, not because we did it wrong, but because we can improve on the things we already said. And I'm feeling like when we see it with a fresh set of new eyes looking at it, we can see the areas where, okay, that makes sense. Okay, this makes sense. So the humbleness of possibly awaiting the feedback and getting ready to hop in and sort of not rewrite the whole thing. I'm not feeling like it's going to be that, but I am feeling like we have to rewrite stuff. I'm getting this, though. I'm getting the Seven of Wands and the Tower. Okay, these two cards right next to each other. So this decision, maybe we could be a little defensive about it. Maybe something happens where we feel like we wrote it the way we wanted to, and it feels like this person's just being critical. So there could be something along those lines. But when I see the Empress card, I'm feeling like we'll eventually take this with grace, we'll eventually understand what we can do and what we can fix. But maybe there's going to be something that's a little bit more critical than what we were thinking. Not because you didn't do a good job, Ty, that's not what I'm saying at all, but because we can improve on what we've already done, because we can improve on making something a little bit better. So it doesn't mean we did bad before, but it means we're getting more good now, more better, more, I think you get what I'm trying to say. It's criticizing, but it's constructive criticism where we can use it to get better. Not so that we use it and we cower and we're in fear, but so that we can use it to get better, and some suggestions along those lines. That's what I'm seeing here. I feel, I'll draw a couple more. I'll draw two more cards here. So what will they think of his first draft? What will the person think of his first draft? Okay, this is really good. This is awesome. 10 of coins. That's one of the best cards you could get. Honestly, that's a really good card. And then we have the moon right here. So they're going to ask you, okay, so they're going to ask you this, Ty. When I see the moon here and I see the 10 of coins, they're going to like what you wrote, probably a lot. But they're going to say, why did you write it this way? What's the subconscious part? What's the thought process behind the writing? I feel like there's going to be need for more description of what we're talking about, and there's going to be a need for the inner thoughts of kind of what you're thinking, what's going on. So that's what I'm feeling is that they're going to be looking for. Is they're going to be looking for more of that voice of saying how you arrived to this conclusion or what's going on here. That's what I'm seeing, but I feel like it's going to be good. There will be changes. I'm getting that sense of in life some rain must fall. So it's going to be a moment where we're feeling a sense of maybe it makes us feel down or maybe it makes us feel like we're not doing as well. Again, I want you to realize this is for the betterment. This is for something that we can do. And we just need to elaborate more on what it is we're talking about, on what direction we want to go in. But we already established a direction, okay? All right, so I want you to think of it like this. If we're on a map, okay, you've established a direction. Let's say we're going north. Okay, you've established that direction. Now what you're going to do is you're going to, instead of just walking in a straight line north, you're going to take that compass and you're going to guide it a little bit more to where you want to go. So now you're going northeast. Now we're honing in on that direction. And we're getting more and more direction. We're getting more and more information as we go along because we're understanding that. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. We'll see what the critique is. We'll see what's going on there. But I am going to feel it like it's just like explain your process, explain what's going on. Okay. When will you have news on the critique, Ty? Oh. But as I've said, everybody, well, I'm waiting for Ty to hear when the critique comes back. Psychics are sometime soon. Okay, so we don't know exactly, so it's going to be a minute. I can understand that. Give it some time, and that could be why the Tower card is here too, in this top part. Maybe it's going to take longer than we think it will, and because of that, we could feel like we failed or something catastrophic has happened. Handle that with grace. So we could have a situation where it could be taking longer. I think you're good, Ty. Give it, you said the 15th last time we talked was the deadline for this. Give it a few more days. Give it some time. Give it a few more days. Maybe next Monday or Tuesday to see if they've seen it. Right, right. And I can understand that, but give it a little bit of time that way. Give it some time and let's see what happens here. Like I said, it could be that it takes a little more time to hear back from this person, and that could be why we're seeing the Tower card. We could be catastrophizing something, but then I see the 7 of Wands, so it's like no. So I want you to not catastrophize. Give it some time. You do have some time. Let things sort of play out. Take a sort of hands-off approach. Busy yourself with something else. I know worrying is it's not fun, so if we can do something else to busy the mind, that can help us in this situation. But give it until, let's see. It's the 7th now. Give it until Monday or maybe Saturday before you email. Okay, the 15th is the deadline to submit it. Okay. All right, so just give it some time and just let's see what happens. I'd say Monday and then message and see, but I understand if they're busy. So does that help answer that question, Ty? Because we can work on the third one. We can work on the third question here. I've got to go grab some more water, and I will be back. Okay, so everybody, stay tuned, and I will be back. Let's see here. Ty, let's look here. I can understand being nervous about your finances. Let's see what's going on. So, how does my finances look for the remaining of the summer? Let's see. So let's address the first one, and then we'll do the second question. Okay? We'll do that for you. So, applied to multiple. All right. Let me get this first one. What will Ty's finances be like for the rest of this? What Ty's finances look like for the rest of this summer 2021? The audio sounds weird. I had this issue before. Sounds scratchy. I wonder if this is hitting the... Anyone else experiencing weird audio? We don't want it to sound scratchy. Okay, so let's see what Ty's finances will be like for the rest of the summer. Hopefully you can hear me okay, Ty, with the audio. Okay, so I sound okay, Lady Libra. All right. Sounds the same on your laptop and phone. Huh. I wonder what's going on. Can you still hear me? I have a different microphone I can use. Let's look at something here. Okay, so here's what I've got, Ty. Again, sorry about the audio. I don't know what's going on. We have strength in reverse, Wheel of Fortune upright, and Eight of Wands in reverse. So this to me, I'm definitely feeling the stress. I can try. Let's see if it does anything. Let me see if it's even working. Okay. Is that better? I took it out and plugged it back in. It's not a plug I have to, it's just powered by the audio jack, so I'm thinking I don't have to like cycle the power or do anything like that, considering it just draws its power from the audio jack itself. So so we have Strength in reverse, Wheel of Fortune, then Eight of Wands in reverse. So it's definitely feeling like finances have hit kind of a tough break here for a minute. Strength in reverse is feeling like I'm not feeling like we're going to get a bunch of news at first on job opportunities. I feel like it's not easy going for a minute. When I see the Wheel of Fortune and then the Eight of Wands in reverse, okay. When I see the Wheel of Fortune and then I see the Eight of Wands in reverse, it's making me feel like things are going to happen the way they need to happen, the way they're going to happen. So I feel like it will be difficult for a little bit to try and get some footing. Okay, I need you to be able to listen to me. So hold on, let me do this instead. Let's go right here. Okay, can you hear me better now? Does that sound better, you guys? Different microphone, so if I can change them out, I will change them out. Can you guys hear me? It might sound a little more tinny. I haven't calibrated this one, so hopefully you can hear me though. Is it better time? The same. I don't know, man. That might be something on your side. I'm not sure. Well, if that's the case, I'll just do this. So. I'm already on it, Ty. I plugged the old one back in. So that one is going to be a worse one. That one is kind of a cheaper microphone, so that one would be a little worse. The one I'm using is a Rode, kind of customized, not customized on their end, but I made it my own. Anyway, so Strength in reverse, Wheel of Fortune, and Eight of Wands in reverse. Let things come to us the way they're meant to come to us. I'll draw some more cards here, but it's feeling like the main thing that I think gets to you more than anything, Ty, is the waiting. You hate waiting. You hate feeling like things are uncertain. You want to feel a sense of security and a sense of like things are okay. And I can understand that, right? That is a way where we can feel safe in the world. And so I feel like the waiting is going to be the part that's going to get to you the most. I feel like there's lessons here, though. There's things we can learn. So let's look at drawing a couple more cards here. Okay. So then we get these cards. Eight of Cups. Okay. And Seven of Coins in reverse. Okay. So the Eight of Cups is kind of like we're walking away from situations we no longer find fulfilling. So maybe we're really trying to hone in on what we want as a job, or maybe we're just kind of, yeah, the waiting really sucks, absolutely. So when I see the Eight of Wands, we're just walking away from something. And when I see the Seven of Coins, I'm wondering if there is a tendency here to, maybe there's a tendency to be too choosy with what we're choosing to work with. So I'm saying this, totally ask for your worth, Ty, absolutely. But when I see Seven of Coins in reverse and the Eight of Cups, I'm feeling like we're waiting for something to come in that maybe we have high expectations for. Every day I keep spending and I'm just like, damn, when will new money come in? Okay, so I'm going to say this, Ty. When you get an opportunity, I do feel like some jobs are going to be calling you back. When you get an opportunity to do some work, even if it's just for a little while and it's not something you're particularly excited to do, I would say kind of go into that, especially if you need to have some money coming in, right? I feel like maybe there's a tendency to hold out for the perfect job or the perfect kind of thing, but in this situation, I feel like this isn't going to be permanent anyway, so might as well do something, even if it's kind of a sloppy thing, even if it's like whatever it is you need to do. I'm feeling like that would be a good direction for you to take here. It's kind of whatever you feel, right, probably walking away from my current internship, not the experience I hoped for. That makes sense, because the Eight of Cups is definitely walking away from a situation. The Seven of Coins, in reverse, though, is feeling like If I walk away, where do I go? What do I do? But I'm feeling like that could be a very good choice for us, but at first it may not seem like it, or it may not feel like it. So that's something I could see. You have 3 weeks left of it. Okay. Okay, you didn't seem like the kind of person that would walk away, but if something really isn't serving you, I say walk away from it, right? Because it's kind of like we only have one life, we only have one experience, and time is not something we get back. We can't later be like, oh man, do-over. No. Be interesting if it worked that way. We get 3 do-overs a year and kind of get to try different things out, get to see different scenarios. That'd be fun. All right. Anyway, 8 of coins, 8 of cups, 7 of coins in reverse, 8 of wands in reverse, wheel of fortune, strength. So keep on keeping on, Ty. I understand there's stress. I understand there's anxiety, but I want you to understand these are all part of the lesson as well. Okay, everything is real and nothing is real. Everything, like, we're all in this kind of grand play, and sometimes our character likes to get stressed out about certain things that are coming up, but it's all kind of this grand play. It's all kind of this very intricate interweaving of everything, of reality. So I want us to focus on that, and I want us to focus on the waiting period being something where we can still be productive while we wait. We can still look at things. We can still learn things while we wait. But let's not get too hung up on what we absolutely want, and we won't settle for anything less. Let's stay in the realm of, I just want to see what I can do, and I want to put myself out there and have an experience, right? I want to try something. I want to see what's going on. So that's what I'm feeling. For you, Ty, does all that make sense? And I'll say this time, I'll say this too, like I was talking about before with the psychics, just so everyone else can hear this, there's no accreditation for what I do. Be cool if there was. You could go to a school, you're certified, and you come on here. Some people use this platform to give advice, and they come from an unhealed perspective. So please take that with a grain of salt. When someone is giving you a reading, please understand that there can be biases. There can be ways this person reads, there can be wounds this person hasn't healed, and they could be projecting that onto other people. So realize that the psychic is just a person, but also realize that there is no accreditation for what I'm doing. I wish there was. I wish there was accountability. I wish there was something along those lines, but there just isn't. So, yeah. We're just people, and some of us have not worked through things in our life. Some of us have a harder time experiencing things and putting that into practicality. And I'm not saying I'm better or anything like that. I'm just saying you shouldn't scare someone into the possibility of a pregnancy. You shouldn't. It's like you're playing a loaded game, and I just don't find that to be a good way to help people. It just felt like, anyway. I'll get off my high horse, guys. I will. The high horse is on the ground. It's actually a very short high horse. You can't see it on camera, but yeah. Okay. Awesome, Ty. I'm glad. And I'm not saying this either. I'm not saying only listen to me and that's it. Please, please go out, listen to all the readers, listen to everybody, and see what you resonate with, right? Because I don't want to be that person. But I'm just saying, understand that, and I'm the same way. I have biases. I'm trying to heal my wounds. I'm trying to, be the best I can be, but yeah. And I appreciate you, Ty, appreciating me, which in turn makes me appreciate. Anyway, that can go back and forth forever. So, yeah, I love all around, gratitude all around. So I do appreciate that. Okay. So, is anyone else wanting to do a reading? If not, we can do some story time. But the next person to donate will be the first in line, and that takes priority over any story time. So if anyone has a question and they don't want to wait in line, now is the time.
Just gonna stretch here a little bit. Okay. Alright, so
Oh, that's right, Ty. I'm sorry. You absolutely are right on that. Thank you for the reminder. See, I'm forgetful. But I do appreciate the reminder, so let's look at that. So, will Ty get the grant for, let me see. I just want to read it exactly so that I can. I also want to apply for a grant through my university. Will that go well for me? Okay. Will I get the grant from this university? Let's look at that. Will Ty get the flex term grant from his university? Okay, will Ty get the flex term grant from his university? So, Ty, I get the Hierophant. I can almost see that like a school professor opening a box or doing something like that. It's a very traditional card. And then I get the Four of Cups. Which can be a card where we're dealing with, this to me feels like we're dealing with depression, anxiety. It feels like we're dealing with that kind of energy. So there's a lot of energy wrapped around this flex term grant. I do see here, though, the Four of Wands being the last card. The last card. Okay. Four of Wands is good because it's like establishing a foundation, having something we can do. So I'm feeling like it's all going to work out in the end. I do feel like you'll get the flex term grant, but for some reason it's feeling like we have to go through hoops. It feels a little bit harder to do than it should. And maybe we're thinking that it's harder to do and then we won't get in. But I'm feeling like there's something here. Inner knowing, inner working comes through from spirit. So inner knowing, inner working, to me that's going to be letting, as I've been saying, letting things happen the way they need to happen and not calling the situation for what it is until it's actually transpired. I feel like there's a tendency to want to call it this way because X, Y, and Z happened. But in reality, we need to wait until the dust clears to see what's going on. So when I see the Hierophant, the Four of Cups, it's just feeling like there's a lot of anxiety and depression, feeling like there's a lot of isolatedness around this kind of thing because I'm feeling like we don't have anywhere we can go. This feels like a lot of anxiety, the waiting, the asking, the seeing, and all this kind of stuff. It feels rigid, and it feels like maybe that's kind of getting to us. But the Four of Wands and the Hierophant are upright, so it does feel like it's going to be a more traditional route that you go getting the scholarship or having things happen. And when I say traditional, that means more of like having the higher GPA and stuff like that. So I'm feeling like there is going to be something. Okay. But that's what I'm seeing here, that there is going to be something. So the important thing is to wait and just sort of, like I said, let the dust settle before we call it for what it is. Let's see what's happening, because I have a feeling we tend to jump to conclusions really quick. And once we've made a snap judgment or conclusion, it's very hard to convince ourselves that the other possibility exists. We tend to kind of get locked in. So let's try to prevent that if we can. Let me see here, time. Oh, hey, Hazel. Oh. My cat likes to headbutt my foot, and it's the cutest thing. Because she says it's like she'll just walk in her room, headbutt my foot, and then walk out just to say hi, and it's so adorable. She's very, very sweet. Anyway. I have a soft spot for animals. Perfect, Ty, perfect. Okay, so, all right, it came in, Ty. So, your next question, go for it. Cut on my finger and I just barely smacked it. I felt bad. Have I chosen the right 3 recommenders for the August 3rd deadline of my scholarship application? Okay. Let's see what we get here. Has Ty chosen the right 3 recommenders for the August 3rd deadline of the scholarship application? It's a good thing the cards know the answer to this question, because I have no idea what any of that sentence means. The 3 recommenders, you get a catalog and you get to choose them out. Kind of like shopping in a magazine, how that used to be. Sort of circle which one you like, and then I'm curious how that works. Okay, yes, you have to use 3 for the August deadline. Okay. Okay. So let's see what I get here. Did Ty choose the 3 recommenders for the August 3rd deadline for his scholarship application? Okay. So did Ty choose the right 3 recommenders for the August? Let's actually word it like this, Ty. So you're asking, you're basically wanting to know, are you endorsed? Will Ty be endorsed? Is that what we're wondering about here? Will Ty be endorsed for the August 3rd deadline? Will Ty, let's see, will Ty be endorsed for the August 3rd deadline? Okay. So we get King of Coins in reverse. We get the 10 of Cups upright, so that's a really good card to have. And then we get the 8 of Cups in reverse. So I'm curious here, Ty. So if it feels like something's going to happen that's going to be the best thing for you, right? Right. Will your application be endorsed after the August 3rd deadline? So when I see the King of Coins in reverse, 10 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups in reverse, I'm wondering if are there extended deadlines, or is there like something else that happens? Like let's say that you're close to being endorsed or something's happening. I'm just curious here, and how many people can be endorsed for the other round? Because the 10 of Cups is making me think emotionally this is going to make us very happy, whatever this decision is. But when I see the King of Coins in reverse, it's feeling like there's going to be a letdown first, but then I'm feeling like things get better. And the 8 of Cups, I'm feeling like we're choosing to stick with it. So we're choosing to stick with something. I'm just curious what that could mean, that we're choosing to stick with it. Kind of wondering how that plays in here. There's no limit to how many people that can be endorsed. Okay, so the King of Coins in reverse here then is making me feel like, I'll draw some other cards to look at that. So why is the King of Coins in reverse? What are we looking at here? So let me use the energy deck. Why is the King of Coins in reverse? Okay, that's what I figured. I'm just looking here because the King of Coins in reverse, it could mean something else. So let's look a little bit more into this. Why is the King of Coins in reverse in Ty's reading? As we are doing currently. Okay, then here's what I'm thinking, Ty. Here's the only other explanation I can come up with. So underneath King of Coins, in reverse, I get appreciation upright. I'm wondering if maybe we achieve what it is that we think we want, and maybe we don't know what we want when we achieve it. I don't know if that makes any sense. Um, that's the only thing I could think of, is there's kind of like this fear of maybe not thinking we could measure up, or maybe thinking that it could be difficult for us. But I'm feeling like it does feel like you will get in, but it feels like possibly it just feels like there's so much stress around this that when you get in, I don't feel like you're going to process it for a minute. And then the other thing is there's kind of like another round that we have to go through. So I see appreciation. I'm feeling like if we just remain grateful and we understand why we're doing this, so having something we can look at, the reason why we're trying so hard to succeed, is going to help us right here. Actually, quite a lot. The Ten of Cups, I get the Envy card underneath. So maybe we're looking at things and we're trying to understand what emotional freedom could mean for us, or what it could mean to really look at things. Something's telling me, Ty, you've already gone through a very transformative kind of year, I'm feeling. I'm feeling like this right here that's coming up, that's what I'm feeling could happen. Like, not that you're not going to do it, but there could be a thing here where I'm feeling like we're trying to take different aspects of ourselves down we're trying to take the spiritual aspect of ourselves down a physical road, and I feel like that can actually work. But that's what I'm seeing here. We kind of need to integrate. We need to understand the wholeness of what it is that's happening here. And it just feels like, because then I get underneath the Eight of Cups in reverse, which is, so the Eight of Cups is walking away from something that no longer serves us. The Eight of Cups in reverse is kind of like sticking around in the situation, feeling all tied up. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a sense like, I feel like we're just going to be questioning a lot moving forward, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think the questions are something that we could fear because they could mean different experiences, but I'm feeling like that's a good thing. Let's leave it the way it is right now, Ty. Let's leave it the way it is, and let's see what happens. The closer it gets to August 3rd, let's kind of see what happens and let's play it out that way. Because I feel like it's best to let sleeping dogs lie just a little bit. I'm feeling like there is something here where I think we'll get the scholarship, but I'm getting a sense of us really asking ourselves questions and really trying to understand things, trying to understand what we're all about. And I feel like that's going to happen in these next 2 or 3 weeks, or 3 or 4 weeks, I guess. 3 weeks to a month. Feels like a perspective shift. So hopefully that kind of makes sense to you. I feel like you will get it, but when I see the King of Coins in reverse and I get the appreciation card, it's understanding what we feel like we're worth, or it's understanding where we're going in life. So I get a sense of really trying to understand, like getting a clear sense of direction or perspective, because then we did get the Ten of Cups. So whatever is happening, I feel like is going to bring us a sense of emotional clarity and fulfillment, but we need to wait for it to happen. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting here. So does that help answer your question, Ty? It could be that, Ty. It definitely could be that. But I'm feeling like we need to remain on the open path of like gratitude, which I feel like you're good at. I feel like you thank the universe, you do that. But I feel like when we get overwhelmed with choice, or when we get overwhelmed, it's hard for us to feel grateful for the universe because it feels like too much. I feel like we become way too sensitive to information and what can happen, and we overthink, and that can be too much. So there could be analysis paralysis, where we're really overanalyzing things. And I feel like when there's open choice for you, um, it feels like it's harder to do. I feel like you like to have tasks. I feel like you like to have tasks, and you like to be guided towards something. When it's very open ended, I feel like we tend to question ourselves. I think so too. I definitely think there's a mystery. I will be right back, you guys. Bathroom again. Tons of water. Drink tons of water. Everyone else drink water too. You're very welcome, Ty. Very, very welcome, my friend. Okay, so you guys want to do story time, or is there another question? Because you guys would be bumped to the top of the queue. So you guys tell me. Okay, we can do some story time here. Let me just take a drink. Okay. So we've talked on the channel a lot about, well, actually I'll note this right here. We've talked on this channel a lot about kind of what I feel like is fundamental to learning psychic ability is focusing on areas we can heal from and then developing psychics from there. And as we become less and less wounded as people, we become better and better as psychics. The more emotional and vulnerable we can be with another human being is going to help make us better readers, especially in the mediumship area, because those people have lost somebody. They're going through grief and bereavement, and the least we can do is be there for them during that time, give their loved one that sense of voice and presence, and we can only do that when we've learned how to trust ourselves more. And that takes time, patience, and courage, but in the sense of the word cur, right? I think it was Greek. It comes from the Greek. C-O-U-R, and it means whole. It means wholehearted, basically, and that's what I mean when I'm talking about being courageous, is being wholehearted, being the full picture, and being vulnerable in our sense of understanding and in our readings, because a lot of the time when we're doing these readings, it's not, there will be stuff that comes through that's not meant for us to understand, but the other person will. So that's something that's really interesting. It's fascinating, actually. But yeah, so does anyone have any questions on, because you won't be charged if you guys have questions or you just want to talk, right? If it's a specific question for you specifically, then yes, I charge for those. But if it's something to the group or you guys have a question that pertains to the group or just discussing stuff, I'm open for that. I'm open for all of that stuff. So okay, so we'll just kind of go into some story time here then, a little bit more. So we talk about it on the channel, and we talk about knowing yourself better. We talk about healing from the narcissistic abuse. We talk about that whole thing, and it's not fun stuff to talk about, but it's something that needs to be talked about, because what will happen is if we, in what I've been learning, if we grew up experiencing narcissistic abuse, right? It sounds bad, huh, zombie? I can do this. Hold on. Zombie, does that sound better or worse? Okay, can you guys hear me now? Do I sound anything? Do I sound? I mean, that's going to be the question. I probably won't be the best audio. It's from my laptop, but it should be better than no audio at all. Hopefully you can hear me. Underwater again. Okay. Alright, Maxine, everyone else watching this, I'm going to end the stream and start things up again. So give me like a minute and then look for my stream again. I'm sorry that that's how it has to be, but I don't know how else to fix this. So give me